for joining us today for our P-card kind of roundtable here today. So hopefully you've brought all of your questions for Holly here. Holly, do you want to just introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Holly Wallace. People call me P-card Holly. If I call you, I'll usually say, "Hi, this is P-card Holly." I work for Illinois ASBO, which is exactly the same as Wisconsin ASBO, just in Illinois. And we developed the P-card program 20 years ago, and no, 22, almost close to 25 years ago. No, can't be that long because I've been with the association for 20 years. So let's say 20 years. So I've been managing it for 20 years, and I am your resource for everything P-card. And so
Awesome.
this is really set up to be just a user group. And what we mean by user group is Caitlin and I just kind of are here to moderate, and it's really an opportunity for you guys to ask questions. If you're having any issues, if you're wondering if things can be done more efficiently, if you just need some help or anything like that, please feel free to unmute and speak up, or you can type it in the questions if you want to in the chat.
Does anybody have any burning questions they want to kick us off with?
Hi, Janelle.
Oh, I know I kept a little spreadsheet just of questions I've gotten lately. And let me snag that guy.
Remember, you guys can feel free to ask questions anytime.
I think we need a little reminder on how to change administrators. We're seeing a lot of turnover in administrators for P-card programs. Can you just walk us through that process?
Sure. So there's two levels of administrating on your P-card program. There's what's called the administrator of record, and that's a person that the bank, you can talk to the bank or the bank can talk to you about your entire program. And then there's administrators on Spend Dynamics. It's important to understand that these two functions don't speak to each other. So if you are set up as an administrator on Spend Dynamics, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're an administrator of record. So to see who your administrator of record is, you can email me and I can find that information out for you. And then to edit that information, I would need a letter on district letterhead from a current administrator of record asking for changes, whether removing or adding. And that's all. And then you can just scan it to me and I can get it usually actioned within a couple hours. Thank you, Caitlin. And no fear, if anyone doesn't have my information, Caitlin can always get it for you. It's also on the WASBO website.
I think the only other thing I've gotten questions on lately is some of our newer folks about the Skyward extract, and they have to request that from Skyward, right?
No,
No.
no, unless they don't have their credit card module turned on. What you do have to do is make sure that it's enabled in your Spend Dynamics. And if you are curious about that and you don't know, you can email me and I can send you the instructions so that you can look and see if it is turned on and what it looks like. Let me just, what have I got going on here? Share this baby. Can you see that?
Yes.
See how I magically got onto Spend Dynamics without having to do two-factor? That's because when I put my two-factor number in earlier in the week, I checked the little box underneath that says remember me. And then it kind of bypasses a lot of the two-factoring that you have to do, especially the two-factoring that you have to do within Spend Dynamics, especially if you're creating profiles and passwords for people. There's a lot of two-factoring in there for security. So to see if you have Spend Dynamics, you go to Administration, Configuration Management, Company Settings, Extract Settings, and see how it says Bank Custom BMO Skyward? That means that the Skyward file is enabled in my Spend Dynamics and I can do an extract out of it. Before you do an extract, it is very important that you get a card identifier file from me. This is a file that you load into Skyward. So when you do your extract out of Spend Dynamics and upload into Skyward, it matches the transactions with the card holder so that you're able to either have your end users go in and do coding, or you know the transactions belong to which card in Skyward. There is a Skyward manual on the PCARD website, www.illinois-pcard.com, under tutorials, and it's right there.
Thanks, Holly. Does anybody have any questions for Holly or things that they are just looking for a little more info on?
And I'd like to shout out, don't have a lot of people on here, Janelle, sorry, but I'd like to shout out my buddy Janelle. She has been an unceasing amount of support with Skyward and helping districts who have questions. I don't work in Skyward and I don't always know how to navigate my way through it. And Janelle has always been willing to be helpful, even to districts that are out of state, which is great. Thank you, Janelle.
Welcome. Thanks for the shout out. Appreciate
You're
that.
welcome. I appreciate it. Everybody's quiet
I have a
today.
question. I have an easy question, I think. So activating cards,
Mhm.
it usually doesn't work where you go out to the web just to quickly activate it. So I always call.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it, right?
Well, if you have a brand new card and it's a brand new account, you have to call in because
Okay.
of security. So they'll never let you do it that way. You should be able to, for cards that have expired and are renewing, you should be able to do it on the website. I've had people who have had issues though, where the website wasn't responding or something's weird about it. So if that case you get it, you can call in. You can also email me too. I can get stuff done for you. Just know there's going to be a little bit more of a stoppage, a delay. That's what I'm looking for, because I have to have my team do it for me. Sometimes with expiring cards, if you call in, they may ask for birth dates. That's why it's really important when you order card to put in their birth date that's correct, because otherwise you're not going to know the answer to that question. And if fraud ever calls them, if you have enabled for fraud to call, just if they have a question about a single transaction on their card, they may ask a security question, the birth date. And if it's set to some weird birth date, then you're not going to be able to get that cleared up. But as an administrator, you should be able to call in. No, they're going to ask you security questions. Please realize I have no idea what those security questions are. They won't tell me because it's security. I'm like, I'm just trying to help people. They're like, we're sorry, ma'am, we can't give you that information.
That's really good to know, because like a lot of times the new cards, I don't even have I might not have the person's birth date yet. If it's a brand new person starting, I might be trying to get them the card. So I have like their first and last name enough to get the card, but we don't have the employee record necessarily in our system yet with all those details.
And if you don't have that information, put in your birth date, because at least you will always know what that is.
Got it.
I am not positive how you can't change the birth date in Spend Dynamics, but there is a way that I could get that information changed for you at a later time if you need to. But that's just one of the security features. School districts function a lot differently than a lot of corporations tend to, and big businesses tend to put more of the onus on the end user, where school districts tend to keep more of it at the business office. It's not a right or a wrong thing. It just is the way school business function in their business office. So they have that birth date there just as security. Also, they use it for AML, which is anti-money laundering. If there's a question about whether John Smith is a money launderer or something, they use that birth date to check. But I don't see that very often. I've only seen that a few times.
Yeah.
We do have a question in the chat. Stacy says she's having issues with account numbers loading, and this is in Skyward SMS, and they're all defaulting to the default account number. How can she get them to link from the PO? And Janelle, that might be a you.
So I can tell you that most likely that's information that's coming from Spend Dynamics, and that's how they have their reporting set up. I'm right, Janelle. Janelle works more in Q, so she used to work in SMS. She might have an idea if she remembers. But I do remember back in the day when we were doing just SMS, it was more. Some people had put default coding in their Skyward extract report that then would flow over to Skyward, and you would have to get that removed. But I would have to do some research on how to get that removed. I saw Janelle shake her head yes.
Yeah, I guess I might need a little bit more information. So, Stacy, are you putting in a PO when you process it, and then you're having a hard time overriding that default code? Is that correct?
So we're just trying to implement this right now, so I'm kind of learning as I go. But when I went through the steps that were on the website, we put all of our purchase orders in ahead of time. When you use the P card, you have to have a purchase order put in. But then when I uploaded the file that I took out of the BMO site, it like aired out, everything aired out, and all the account numbers went to the default it made me put in at the beginning. So it didn't recognize.
So just so you know, Stacy, it's never going to link to the PO. It's going to link to the card holder. That's the way this is set up. Now, what you can do is once those are linked, connecting. So if you've gotten the card identifier file from me and you have uploaded it in the Skyward, then I'd be curious to know what your errors are. If you haven't gotten the card identifier file from me and you're just uploading it, you're going to error out for everything. Because what they're saying is that it doesn't recognize what you have in Spend Dynamics and Skyward is matching. So there's a special way that they are set up in Skyward so that it matches what's coming out of Spend Dynamics. So once those match up, then you can do coding, then you can connect it to the PO, any invoicing or any receipting or anything like that you've scanned into the Skyward can all be connected together in a cute little package.
Okay, yeah, and I didn't originally start the process. I believe Dawn reached out to you, LaBoy, she's our business manager, and I think she had set that up with you, so I believe that was done.
Okay.
I can't remember how I got to the page that showed what I tried and it gave me all my errors, so I don't know what to tell you on that. I have to start over. But I'm having a hard time getting it to even go to the vault, so I'm obviously doing something wrong. But I'm trying to listen and read at the same time, so I'm probably just missing a step.
Okay, so make sure that when you go to the vault, that you where's my page here? Hold on. I'm in the wrong place.
Oh, I just found it.
Make sure that when you go to the vault, that you go to the out box, not the inbox.
I just found it actually, yeah.
Because the inbox is stuff you're inputting into Spend Dynamics. The outbox is stuff you're getting out. Okay. So, Stacy, I would need to know if and a screenshot works best. What kind of error message you're getting in Skyward, what it's saying to you, whether it's saying that it doesn't recognize the the vendor. If it's not
Yeah.
recognizing the vendor, that's an easy thing to get around, and that's a decision you need to make. You need to decide whether you want to make sure every single vendor matches exactly to every single vendor you have in Skyward. Or because sometimes things like Walmart and Amazon are going to come over as Walmart, but there's going to be a specific number after it. And so it's never going to match up with Walmart, whether you want to edit those, whether you want to make sure they're tagged. I have some people that it's not a big deal, so they don't do it at all. I think that you can kind of have a hybrid that works. That seems to be what works for most people. What do you suggest, Janelle?
Janelle actually had to run and deal with an issue in the cafeteria, so she had to step away.
Yeah.
Well, I did get my error report to come up, and it's saying like a bunch of letters and stuff, and it says it's greater than 20 characters, identifier not updated.
Okay, so is it saying that for every single transaction?
I have 67 of the same message.
Okay,
so I don't know if that's everything, or
I don't know if it's everything either. That's what you'd have to find out, whether it's everything. If it's everything, then that means that for some reason that card identifier file was not loaded correctly or not loaded at all.
Okay.
And that would cause that kind of error. It's just saying that it doesn't recognize it.
So what do I need to do? I need to send you something and you send me an identifier file?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, the bank will send it to whoever is the administrator of record, and they send it to you in a secure email. So you'll have to log into that secure email and download the file because it has card number in it.
Okay. Okay, I'll have to see if my boss can do that because I don't know if I have access to that. How do you request it through BMO? Do you know I can
request what?
The file that's going to come secure, you just said?
You come through me.
Oh, okay.
Just shoot me an email.
All right.
That's the easiest way and the fast way, and that way we can make sure that we get it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We did get another question in the chat. So based on the birthday question, Dawn is saying that they have some department cards like the elementary school and those kind of things. It's probably suggested that you have a specific person on a card, but in those department instances, do you just have to pick somebody's birth date?
No, when you order a department card on Spend Dynamics, and by the way, Spend Dynamics is the only place you can order card. They don't ask for a birthday. So remember, when you are doing department card first, though, please do not create a profile named after that department card. You need to map it to the person who's responsible for it. And if that's you and you're the only one getting in Spend Dynamics, that's fine. And then you edit it. And on my website that I shared there, there's two tutorials. How do I order a card for an individual and how do I order a department card? That will show you how to do it. You just look for the person, you pick the person, and then you edit the name in the application to what you want the department card called. But one of the screens you come to will ask you whether this is a one card or a department card. And when you choose department card, then it doesn't ask about birthday.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Dawn says thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Right. Any other
lots
questions?
Of good tutorials on here too, though. I always say start here. I personally, and I've been doing this for a long time, I've been doing Spend Dynamics for a long time. I find their tutorials to be kind of long and complicated sometimes, and it's because they're trying to cover all of their bases. These are very school friendly, very like, I need to change a credit limit. How do I do that in 2 minutes? This will take you through the steps really quickly.
Awesome. Any other questions, folks? This is your time.
And don't worry about being new. I mean, this is what I'm here for. I mean, I'm really here to help you. Even if you're brand new and the person who was doing it before you don't understand their processes at all, and you just need to understand better how things work. please feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to get on a Zoom call like this with you, and we can look at spend dynamics together and kind of get an idea of what's going on in there and explain things to you so that you feel more comfortable. And also feel free to come to me with anything. If I feel like you should call client services, I'll send you over to client services. But most things I can take care of, or my team at BMO can take care of. I will say, Caitlin, too, I've been having a lot of people that have been having issues with their credit limit, their corporate credit limit, and coming really close to that, and then being very panicked because they have something come up all of a sudden and they need to loosen up some money. So just so you know, if this happens to you, that a corporate credit limit can take 5 to 7 business days to increase. I can always ask for a rush, but I can't always guarantee that it can happen within 24 to 48 hours, which you in the business office, somebody forgets and you don't have 48 hours. You need to make something happen quick. There are, a couple of options. I can get a 10% of your corporate limit that you have now. I can get an emergency increase usually within a couple hours. Also, you can do an early payment. If you're on ACH now, that'll happen is it'll just decrease the amount that your overall ACH will be. But just know that even if you do an early payment, it's got to go from the bank to your bank and then back to the bank. And that can take 48 hours sometimes to clear up. But sometimes that works for districts who just need a little bit of loosening and they've got that 2 or 3 days to kind of play with. So if you need something, try to be proactive. Remember, you're not required and you're not penalized if you're not spending that whole credit limit. But we don't want you to go too over the top either, because the bank will come back and want to bring that back down in line with what you're spending. But if you do need something, and we can get something in place and help you out. When I can usually help you out is usually 4 o'clock on a Friday. So try to plan a little bit farther ahead than that, because it's always hard after 4 o'clock. My team at the bank does work on Eastern Standard Hours. So they have a little bit different kind of work philosophy in Canada. When their end time is there, it's there. They're done.
I feel that. There are days, right?
Yeah. Weeks.
Wow. I don't see any other questions in the chat. If anybody wants to come off mute, they can. Anybody have anything?
We're going to keep these going quarterly. Guys, sometimes we'll have a lot of people. Sometimes we won't have as many. We hope that you'll help us to spread the word, just at least jump on and see what people are talking about. And, of course, ask your questions too. You don't have to wait till one of these, though, to ask. You can always reach out to me.
Absolutely. And our next P-Card user group is scheduled for Wednesday, February 18th at noon. So bring your lunch and we will see you all then, if not sooner. Hope to see many of you at School Business Office Professionals next month.
Hey,
thanks, guys.
Just got a quick question. Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Of course I can,
So I haven't turned on an alert for a while, and we use the alert. So I just got this new card. What email address do I email to ask that the alert be turned on?
What kind of alert are you looking for?
Oh, a transaction alert to email. Every time there's a transaction, we get an alert just to watch for fraud and to just help us stay on top of our transactions.
You can email me before. You can email me. I can ask. Yeah, okay. Just let me know where you want it to go.
Yeah, I'll just give you the email. I usually just give the email address that it goes and then the card information.
Yeah, I just need the name on the card and last 4 digits.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, you're welcome.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us, and we will look forward to seeing you in February for sure, if not before.
Thanks, awesome. Everybody.
Thanks, Holly.
Caitlin. Bye, Janelle.